What's going on, Giants fans? We have some big-time Deshaun Watson rumors to get to. Supposedly, he wants to play for the Giants, and he wants Brian Flores as his coach. The Giants' offseason rumors are continuing and will heat up all offseason long. So if you're looking for a Giants channel on YouTube that does nothing but cover Giants news and rumors, this is your one-stop shop, so hit that big red button. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and we're going to take a deep dive into the latest rumors surrounding Deshaun Watson and the New York Giants. I was just at the gym on my day off. I saw the tweets pop up from Jordan Schultz, which we'll get to in a second, but I knew I had to get into the office to get you guys a video. So let's talk about the Deshaun Watson, New York Football Giants rumors. Jordan Schultz, he tweeted this back on the 13th. He said this: "Don't sleep on the prospect of Brian Flores to the Giants. I'm told owner John Mara respects and likes Flores, a Brooklyn native, and that Flores would prioritize the G-Men job at or near the top of his list, per a source close to the situation." Brian Flores, he was fired by the Miami Dolphins earlier this week, and now there are rumors coming out that he wants to coach the Giants and that he wants to do it with Deshaun Watson. Jordan Schultz had this to say. He tweeted this afternoon. "Developing story. Deshaun Watson and Brian Flores have been in constant communication trying to navigate a scenario where they go to the same team per sources. Watson trusts and likes Flores and has been adamant internally that he'd like to play for him next season." He then followed that by quote tweeting it and adding some more context to the situation. Sources say Deshaun Watson has expressed a strong desire internally to play with the Giants, ideally with Brian Flores as the head coach, where he could also reestablish his brand in the league's top market. He also added this: "Watson, I'm told, spends parts of his offseason in New York City and has an established business connections and friendship there as well, all of which he feels, understandably so, will be advantageous while playing for the New York Giants." We're going to continue to talk about these Deshaun Watson and Brian Flores going to the New York Giants rumors, but I want to get you guys involved early on in the show. Everyone that's watching this video, share your thoughts with me. Let me know. Do you want a Watson-Flores pairing in New York? Type Y for yes or type N for no. For me, if the Deshaun Watson legal allegations get cleared up, if that happens, he does have a court date coming up on February 22nd, I would do whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson in New York City wearing New York Giants blue. You can't argue. This guy is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. We'll take a look at his stats in just a quick second, but the reports are coming out from Jordan Schultz of ESPN that Watson and Flores are trying to team up, and Watson is intrigued by playing in New York City, wants to rebuild his reputation, and he thinks if he can do that in the Mecca, in New York City, he will be able to do that. He is still facing those 22 sexual assault allegations. We will know more in the coming weeks because he has an important court date coming up in February. But when it comes to Brian Flores, I have my cause for concern. Look, if hiring Brian Flores guarantees you that Deshaun Watson will be a New York Giant, I would do it. But I do still have some concerns about Flores. 24-25 in 3 seasons with the Miami Dolphins, but in the last 2 seasons, 5 wins above 500, 19-14, had a 7-game winning streak this season, and they just missed the playoffs by 1 game. Last year, the Dolphins went 10-6. He has a strong defensive mind, and he has ties to Patrick Graham, so maybe if he gets hired, Patrick Graham would remain the Giants' defensive coordinator, which I know a lot of you guys would be a fan of, but I do have a problem that he did not get along with GM Chris Grier. There was a power struggle. Supposedly Brian Flores wanted more control after Grier came out and said every single player on the Dolphins roster was approved by Brian Flores. Another problem that I have with Brian Flores is he has not been able to get the offensive coordinator hire correct. You're only as good as a head coach, you're only as good as your staff, and he has cycled through offensive coordinators since he took the job in Miami. But if you get a guy like Deshaun Watson under center, I don't think it really matters who your offensive coordinator is, because people can say, hey, Marshall, there's no way they trade for him. John Mara would not be a fan of Deshaun Watson. I understand that, and I think that's fair to bring up. But when you look at these numbers on screen, 33 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, and then what about in his rookie year? He played 6 games and threw 19 touchdowns. On top of that, he's rushed for 17 touchdowns in his NFL career, 10 fourth-quarter comebacks, and 8 game-winning drives. This is someone that is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Plain and simple, he's a superstar talent. Daniel Jones, he can't sniff Deshaun Watson. What Deshaun Watson is able to do on the football field can only be replicated by a couple of quarterbacks in the NFL. And I don't think this would be a quick fix either, for the simple fact Deshaun Watson is just 26 years old. Deshaun Watson does have a no-trade clause, and Michael Smith on his podcast, A Brother from Another Mother, said this. Supposedly him and Deshaun Watson are extremely tight. He expanded on the Deshaun Watson Giants trade rumors and said this: Deshaun Watson would waive his no-trade clause to go and play for the New York Giants. So now we know that Watson would waive his no-trade clause and that he wants to play for the New York Giants. This is something that all Giants fans should be paying close attention to, because the certainty and the future of Daniel Jones is currently in limbo, with the GM that drafted him is out and the head coach that accepted the job when he was the quarterback is out. I want you guys to answer this one for me. Grade Deshaun Watson as a quarterback. Leave all the legal stuff out of it. Leave everything else out of it. Talking just football here. Grade Watson as a quarterback, A, B, C, D, or F. The first thing on the Giants' agenda to do this offseason is finalize a general manager. John Mara has come out and said the Giants will hire a general manager, then start their search for the next New York Giants head coach. These are decisions that will be very, very important, because the Giants, it's time to not screw this up. They fired 3 coaches in the after their first 2 seasons. So this is what I think will happen for the Giants this offseason, and John Mara has alluded to it. They're going to pick the next GM. They've already interviewed 9 general managers, and whoever that is will pick the next head coach by creating a list of head coach candidates and then start to interview them. Once the GM and once the head coach are in place, they have to make a decision on Daniel Jones. They have no ties to Jones. John Mara has already come out and said whoever the next head coach and general manager is will be able to make the decision on Daniel Jones, which will be the first step of action for this new regime. With no ties to DJ, I'm not sure. I can't say with 100% confidence that Daniel Jones will be back starting for the New York Giants. There could be a lot of things happen. They could trade for Deshaun Watson. Russell Wilson rumors have popped up through the offseason, and they also have 2 first-round picks, so maybe they take a guy like Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, or Malik Willis at the top half of the first round. But you choose for me. We are built off audience interaction here at Chat Sports, and I love reading the comment section and hear what you viewers have to say. So get in the comments, be active. What would you do with Daniel Jones? Type K for keep or T for trade. My take on Daniel Jones is this: his good is good enough to be an above average or solid starting quarterback in the National Football League. But his bad is so bad, I'm not sure he could be a starting quarterback. What he did against the New Orleans Saints this year cannot be denied. Led a game-tying drive in the fourth quarter and a game-winning drive in overtime against a defense that shut out Tom Brady, one of the best defenses in the National Football League. I like Daniel Jones. I don't think his evaluation is done, considering the surrounding talent around him has not been up to par. But when you can get a guy like Deshaun Watson, and it's not a quick fix considering he's 26 compared to Russell Wilson, who's 33 years old, if you can get a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League at just the age of 26, push your chips to the table, make it happen, and make New York Giants football great again. Here at Chat Sports, New York Giants Now, we are going to break down every rumor that pops up all off season long. They got to hire a GM. They got to hire a coach. We'll be breaking that search down until it happens. And I want to get to 5,000 subscribers by the time they do so. So if you love the Giants and you made it this far in the video, clearly you like what you're watching. So go down right now and hit that big red button.